Good, good. Perfect. How many pins you got? You got enough? Twist the machine sometimes. You got to get contact, you know?
You know, if I happen to go all the way in, you want to go halfway about. Just experience so you see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And you don't have to hit this again.
Yeah.
You just want to go that way, you know?
Okay. Custom doing concrete work. Pretty cool. Contact.
Twist the machine sometimes and it'll go. Hold the trigger down and twist it while you're holding it down. So, and then it'll grab.
Yeah. These little dots here, you want them there?
Not for now, no. Just do the big ones. 3 more.
I need 1 more.
This row.
It's gotta come out a little more.
Don't worry about it. Do this row first.
Okay.
Do all the outer ones that you just did. It's got to come out a lot, so yank on it.
All right.
Good. Next one. So if you watch him yanking on it, he's not pulling hard enough. You have to really whack it back to pull the dent out. Just be sure. Nice. Good. Do these two. You know, you got to remember, this is his first time doing this. He's never touched one of these before. Good. Nice. Looking good. Looking good. I say we could weld another one like right in here.
Okay.
And then we'll do these a little bit more.
All right. What's a machine like that? I bought a calculator, the first calculator that had the tape on it when they first came out. $750 because I wanted it. Now you buy them what, for $29?
Unbelievable.
Just like I was one of the fortunate ones that bought the first mobile phone is $200.
Oh my God.
The one you carry around in the box.
Unreal. Hold your ears, Maya. Okay, let's cut them off. When taking these pins off, all you have to do is push them to the side, right? Get your dikes, put your dikes around the very tip of that thing and twist it. Okay, there's no need to yank on it or pull it. Gary here, my godfather's not used to this, but all you really have to do is just twist it and it'll come right off very, very easily. Okay, so I'm welding a couple more pins here in the low areas, right? And then I'm just gonna yank this section out a little bit more and we'll be good for putting some body filler on this piece.
Looks pretty good. Pretty good.
And what I'm doing here is knocking the high areas down, right? Because every time you make a dent, you're going to have a high area around the outer area of the dent, right? So you want to whack that down. So there are many ways to do body work, and this is one. You could use a tree, you can use an I-beam in your shop to put a come along around and then pull it out, because you need pressure to pull out sometimes. And then what we're doing here is just hitting the high area down while we have that pressure of pulling out. Okay, once that's done, then we grind up a little bit more, and then we could lay our body filler on top of that.
Keep cranking.
I don't want to pull it out.
You're not going to pull it out.
Alright, I'm putting a hammer in the back of the section here to flatten it out, right? Because the come along did a little bit of damage to that hole there, pulling it out. All we're doing is just bending it back together and working from there. Now we're going to grind out the little paint areas in the back there, and we're going to weld a couple more pins, pull those areas out, and hit the high spots down as well.
Are we doing it good enough, or?
Yeah, it looks good. You can hold for another split second if you want. Make sure she's on. Hold the trigger and twist until she grabs. There you go.
He fixed a 1980 Jeep.
Oh yeah?
Open one like in the war.
Yeah. Just keep pressure on that arm, holding it out, you know? Don't worry.
Sometimes it's good to have an extra hand while somebody's yanking it out. You got somebody hitting down the high spots, but you could usually do it by yourself, but it does help with an extra hand. Like what we're doing right here.
Ready?
Yep, go. Okay.
Ready?
Yep, watch out.
Looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's close enough. The rest will build out with Bondo.
We're gonna grind.
Yeah, we can, yeah, quick.
If you notice how easy it comes off just by twisting. You see that? It comes off really easy.
Come over here. Yep, stay right there. Good. Done with Bondo. Let me tap that sucker in quick.
All I'm doing is using a screwdriver to kind of get that ridge back in there. And then we're going to shape the rest with Bondo body filler.
Okay, so this is pretty much pulled out. Our grill lines up nice. The only thing we got to do now is Bondo it and shape it to fit the grill.
And the amount of time it took us so far is less than 2 hours.
Do you know what time it was when we? Because double it up and then put one below it single.
Okay.
This way, because the paper's pretty 80 grit cuts through pretty quick, so it's just to protect it so you don't scratch up your lens, you know. And then just a single below it. All we want to do is scuff around here with about 80 grit so our filler blends into the whole panel, okay?
Fine.
So. Just like that, all the way around.
No problem.
Turn it up. Keep going. Good.
Another paper or what?
What?
Need more sandpaper?
No, not now. That's good.
When you have a new can of Bondo, you always want to mix it up quickly, because sometimes you're going to have a piece of glaze on there that you want to mix in to the body filler, right? And before you lay your filler, you want to make sure you blow off all of the damaged areas, all the sand,
Don't be shy. Just pull
everything. You want to blow it all off. This way it's nice and clean so you can lay your body filler. All we're doing right here is sanding out the Dodge decal with 80 grit. All right, we're just going to take it down, cut it all out with 80 grit, and feather it down with a 220 to 280, and then just put a thick coat of Euro primer on it, a 2K primer, a filler primer. All right, then we're going to sand that down with 400 grit, and it'll be ready for paint. Alright, so mixing your body filler. Now, as my dad always said, for every golf ball size of body filler that you use, you want to put about 6 to 8 drops of hardener. Okay, I've been doing this for so long that I could just eyeball it just like that, with putting a couple lines down. And it also, you could also tell if you put too much or too little by the color, right? You want to get a nice medium blue like the way you see here. If it's too dark, it's going to dry really quick. It gives you a lot less time to work with, so you're going to have to work really quick if you put a little too much hardener. All right, there's no real consequences of putting too much. Too little, you can have a problem, because the Bondo could take a lot longer to dry, and sometimes if you really put not enough, it's going to be sticky and it won't dry. You're going to have to just scrape it off with a putty knife or something and start all over again. Put new filler, put new hardener on it. But just make sure you don't put too little. Too much, you're just going to end up drying it out quicker, and you're going to be wasting some extra body filler. So just keep that in mind. And as you see the way I'm laying the filler on here, you want to make sure to press firmly as you work the panel. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect the same time. This is your first coat, right? You just want to try to get it, just fill the dent up. You can see here, I'm not even worried about the crease of the line on that bottom part. We're gonna sand the crease out later and actually make the crease. Okay, so you can see here the way I'm doing it. It's a rough draft. You just want to fill it up, and we could always shape it with the rasp. And in the next video, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to shape it with the rasp. It cuts down on your sanding time. Some people like to use the rasp, some people don't. It's basically the cheese grater looking thing. Okay, so you shave it down a lot quicker, cuts down time, so you don't have to sand as much with 80 grit or 40 grit, whatever you're doing. Some people like to just sand, right? They're afraid of using the rasp. But it doesn't matter how you want to do it. Just get it close to the outer shape of the panel as possible, to original, you know what I mean, and then work it from there. And Bondo, it could take 2, 3, 4 shots. If it's a small dent, maybe you'll probably get it done in one shot, maybe 2 shots. Yep. Sometimes it could take as much as 4 or 5 passes, over and over. Repeat the process to get it done.